All right, everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Frankly Francisco podcast. Today, I have one of the most consistent guests that I've had on the show. This is his,
Hey,
we're in year three, and he's been on a guest on this show for the last 3 years. He is one of the most influential up and comers in the Cleveland rap scene. Um, he needs no introduction. We all know who he is. Honasty Blade, how we doing, man?
hey, Honasty Blade, cue the applause. What up, bro?
So what's going on, man? We haven't spoken in well, it's been a year. You haven't been on the show. So what's going on, man? How's things been going? How are you and how's the music genre down there in Cleveland?
Music is better because my last well, I can only speak for me because I feel like the genre in Cleveland is its own scene. But like as far as me, my last project was 2020, so that's a long ass time in music, and I'm real excited to be releasing. You know,
So
so to go ahead, bro.
you got a new album coming out?
Yeah, man. From the top of the year, I dropped two projects already. So the first joint was professional use only, 17 tracks, full body of work, because that Son of Mark was 20, that was 20, and I was only 10 tracks. So I came back real hungry, real enthused to make up for the absence. So that was in January. February, I just dropped a tribute tape to Jay Dilla, the late great legendary producer from Detroit, and that one I dropped on his birthday, which was February 7th. So my plan from here on out, bro, shit, coming in, back in March with the deluxe version of the professional use only. Then I'm just gonna drop singles all the way down the calendar until it makes sense to do another project.
So with this in the summertime, are you going to be doing some shows featuring these two new projects that you have?
Yeah. I got some performances lined up before the summer. I got two shows in March. I got one of them March 3rd is the celebration of the hip hop legends. So it's a 50-year birthday celebration of hip hop. It's going to be a contest. There's going to be performers, but I joined the cipher. So there's going to be a cipher involved, and Big Hef is one of the panelists. So I got that March 3rd. March 11th, I got Stream Space and I got a set, 15-minute set. So that's all before spring. So summer is going to look crazier.
So the performances in Cleveland, or you plan on doing performance outside of the state?
It's in Cleveland.
It's
I
in
can do a
Cleveland.
performance outside the state, but these are in Cleveland.
So, I mean, do you feel more comfortable in the city doing these, or at some point do you want to expand out? Because you know the music scene in New York City, Detroit has their own
Mm-hmm.
music scene as well. You have a lot of different states, Chicago. I mean, the rap game is is nationwide, worldwide. You have different countries. You got Japanese people rapping now trap, music. So,
Mm-hmm.
different genres of
Mm-hmm.
rap. So, at what point do you feel like you're going to expand outside of the state of Ohio to go out there and promote your stuff?
I would say as once I'm considered to be paid for booking, because my bookings haven't been paid. They've been like, if you have merch, sell that, or if we're organizing the show, then you just get money how you can. So the only way it would make sense for me to go out of state and perform is if someone has an offer and I'm not footing the entire expense.
I get that frustration, man. I'm right there with you. It's like we do stuff because we're passionate about it, and eventually we want to get paid for it. But it gets kind of hard when we're not things are not clicking because people
Yeah,
expect you to work for free, man, which is crazy to me. People don't want to pay you what you're worth for because they put a worth on what we are. They put a value on what we do, which is crazy. We should be the ones putting a value on what we do when we put our stuff out
exactly.
there, man. So I get where you're going, man. It's frustrating. It can be very frustrating for that stuff. But I mean, Cleveland
Yeah,
shows you plenty of love, man. I've seen, some of the concerts you guys has held and how filled those clubs can be in the areas that you guys are doing the shows at. Is
yeah.
there any features that you have on there right now with anybody specifically that you want to shout out?
Yeah, on professional use only, I got R squared. So that's Kizzy, Robish Bob. They're also the production team, so they do a lot of my video content. Power Naps, he's a vocalist, but he's also my engineer, producer, and he mixed and mastered the project. Jack Burton, that's more Cleveland on there. Drastic, this is Cleveland hip hop royalty that we got on this project. Eva, a lovely vocalist. I got her on Present Moment. I'm trying to see if I'm leaving anyone out. I think that might have been all the guest appearances on Puo. Yancey is just me on there and Power Naps.
So how long did this project take you? I mean, what was the timeline for this? Because I know, I mean, you work in a regular job, man. So you got
Yeah.
to find time for the studio. You got to find time to write. You got to find time to record. So how did this all come together for you?
It was a lot of songs that were in the vault. You know, we always had a bunch of recordings, and we had to get our process in line because up until now, everything was record, 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 perform, 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 and like that stacks the deck for you, and that gets your skill set sharp. But like now, it's like, all right, if you want to release a project, you got to mix this shit, you got to master, you got to get cover art. So it was never really a plan to wait so long, but it was just we had to get our finishing stages in line. So when we have a release, we have a protocol and we can do that shit every time. You know what I mean?
So
So
what?
that's
How long did
crazy.
it actually take you to complete the albums?
Um, shit. Well, that's a good question because the songs were already done. You know, they were already recorded. So the mix and the master was just like a few hours to do.
Mm.
And once we got the track list down, it was like, all right, we got a week or so to put it on DistroKid and make sure it hits all the stores, shit like that. So I guess maybe hours.
So let me ask you a question though. But you say you
Yeah.
pre-record these, right? You have an idea, you get in the studio, you record. But what if you think of something new for that particular song? Can now you
Mm-hmm.
go back in the studio and edit that? Let's say you wanted to remove a verse and add a new verse because the new verse sound better than the old verse.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you are able to do to be able to fix the song?
Yep. Yep. You definitely can. You know, just as long as you haven't mastered anything, because once you've done that part, you got to go backwards. So
Uh,
if you haven't gotten that far and you've just recorded vocals and you're listening, you're like, you know what, I don't like that no more. You know, you still got a chance to go in there and take it out.
so now for everybody that doesn't know, um, Honesty Blade does. He has a YouTube channel as well, and he's been, doing previewing and viewing rap battles.
Yeah.
Has that stopped for you, or are you still doing that right now?
Very, very good question. In a way, it's still going. In a way, it's stopped. And that's a weird answer, but I'm gonna explain why. So like on my YouTube, I was just reviewing the battles that were happening in Cleveland
Mm.
and some that were out of state. And all of that brought me to a point to where I had met one of the rap league owners here in Cleveland. His name is Tyrell. So he has a league called the Rap Committee. So that led me and our square to covering the events. But just recently, he had an event that was supposed to happen and it was canceled. And we still don't understand why. So on that front, it's kind of stopped, but I'm still doing my reviews on the YouTube. So yeah, but I love doing that shit, man. It's great because it's another way for me to keep lyricism alive. It's a way for me to balance out some of the toxic shit that happens in battle rap. Cause you know, man, that should be like headshot, pop, shoot your grandmother in the head. Like, so I get to come into that arena and show them like, you could be nice and not have to talk like that, you know.
Now, have you been keeping up with the mainstream hip hop game that's been out there lately? All the news and how you feel about that list of the 50 greatest rappers, and they put Jay Z at number one. That was so disrespectful, bro. It's not even funny.
I heard who made that list.
Jay
I
Z
heard
was number one. You had Biggie like number five. Lil Wayne. Top five was Eminem, Jay Z, Lil Wayne, Tupac, Biggie. But they put Jay Z number one, which I thought was ridiculous in its own right. But um, yeah, man, it's just this. It's and then they put Nicki Minaj as the number one greatest female rapper of all
see,
time.
see, I don't be respected. Like that's why I asked, like, who really made that list? Like, was that Vibe or somebody or
I don't know, man, but it was. I know a lot of people were. A lot of people. Billboard, I think it was. It might have been Billboard.
Billboard? See, you know, that's not like I never really listened to that shit because it's just like token. hip hop type shit. It's not like, the real people who know and you're not really getting a consensus, you know. They're probably charting, they're looking at it from that perspective.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense because Jay-Z hasn't put anything out good in years. You know what I mean? And then even when he was putting stuff out, I don't consider him the greatest of all time. Like, how's Rakim not top five?
Right.
Like,
See
how
what I
does that
mean?
even how does that not even make sense? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, how,
That's what I'm saying.
that's
Yeah.
it's ridiculous how what that the way they got that list out, bro. It just doesn't make any sense, man. And Little Kim, honestly, I'm not talking about Little Kim now. You
Yeah.
know, Little Kim, that's all kinds of wrong with her, but Little Kim should be number one. Nicki Minaj got her style and her flow from Little
Yeah.
Kim.
Yeah.
So how is Nicki over? I don't understand that. Like that.
Yeah.
That kills me, bro.
I don't be taking them niggas serious. I think they be doing it just to make people upset. Cause like, how could you really know the culture and say shit like that?
But yeah, it's frustrating, man. It's like you think people would know how, but it's not about style anymore. It's not about substance. Nope. It's about numbers, and it's about who's the flashiest. And let's keep it 100. Nicki never had a number one till she messed around and did a single with 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine.
Oh, what about all that Pink Friday shit? None of that was number one.
No, she didn't have a number one. It wasn't a number one hit. She didn't have a number one hit till she started with 6ix9ine. All right, so I mean, like I was saying before, it's crazy to me that these pundits think they know what real hip hop is and what lyricists are and who should be number one. And everybody has their own genre and subgenre. You have hip hop artists that they're not mainstream that still deserve to be, up there. You got Tech Nine, who's independent. You know what I mean? You have a lot of other artists that people are not, that don't consider themselves mainstream, that are still selling multi-million-dollar albums and out there making their money. So how do you feel when they come out with lists like this? That, to me, it seems fabricated. It's more of a favoritism thing to me than it is actual skill level.
Yeah. Like I said before, man, like I never take it serious. I feel like it's just like some tokenism shit to say, like, oh yeah, we pay attention to hip hop, because you got hip hop, and then you got the corporate version of hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't never be respecting that shit. Like, just like when they did that Vibe magazine list like years ago, and Joe Budden was talking about that, and he caught a lot of controversy. Like, it was the same thing. Like, y'all niggas is not serious. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, and this is where I think people get, things crossed up. It's when they say Drake is the GOAT. Drake ain't the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Drake ain't us. Not right. Drake is nowhere near the GOAT, but to the little, little kids that watch Degrassi, you know what I mean? They know Drake, so they have a familiarity with him already. And guess what? Oh, he was cool in Degrassi, so we just gonna follow what he does. Not everything Drake does is gold. Like, it's like with 21 Savage. Look, I'm sorry. To me, he's terrible. I just
21.
I don't know how these guys get so popular so quickly, bro. Kills me, man. Like, you and then these dudes you are a multi-millionaire, but yet you still acting like you banging in the streets. Look what happened to Young Thug. Young Thug.
Oh yeah.
Like, you a multi-millionaire, dog, and you trying to. You involved in murking people, bro. Like, it's not that you can't live that way, bro. You can't live that. You have no reason to live that way. It's like 50 Cent. 50 was like, look, I ain't from the streets no more. You know what I'm saying? I can act ghetto if you want me to act ghetto, but I'm about making my money now. You know what I mean? And a lot of these cats don't do that. And I think it gives a bad name to hip hop, and it hasn't changed. It gets worse every year because these dudes are coming in beefing with each other, because a lot of these dudes coming in are gang members already. So you got Crips, you got Bloods, you got people from other sets that start hip hop, start in hip hop, and then they start banging against each other and they're dead. You know how many bro, more people die in hip hop every year than any other music genre.
Yeah, sad. So sad.
How does that make sense, man? These are talented kids.
It's sad, man. And it's crazy that you brought up 50, because I was listening to an audiobook that 50 put out, Hustle Smarter
Mhm.
and or Hustle Smart. And he was talking about that same topic when he was speaking about Jam Master Jay being killed in Queens. And his whole point was like, these cats be like so in love with the struggle. Like they don't want to boss up and evolve. Like all the cats that didn't really evolve, 50 Cent, Jay-Z, whoever you want to think of, like them cats ain't about to be outside 3 o'clock in the morning shooting dice, no security, all that stupid shit. Like they're not doing that. They
But
move different.
they're so like people are so enthralled with the culture, quote
Yeah,
unquote. I'm using air quotes. The
yeah,
culture.
yeah,
What the cult? Come on, come on.
yeah.
Listen,
That's
the
not the
culture
culture.
is not, and the culture hadn't done nothing for nobody that in that particular genre of what they're doing. Culture's only done is kill people because they're so worried about keeping their street cred that they can't evolve into other things, man. Like
Hmm.
look at Ludacris. Ludacris music
Yeah.
was some of the hardest music that came out. What did he do?
Yeah.
He's like, look, I need to evolve. Now he's making
Uh-huh.
millions of dollars being an actor. 50
Uh-huh.
Cent, same thing. I need to evolve, made millions of dollars. Look, even Eminem is more professional now on how he handles his business and he does things because he knows it's a business. It's hip hop is not a lifestyle. I'm sorry, it's not.
Mm,
It's a
mm,
business. It's a business. And when
mm.
you go in and you clutching your pearls because somebody says something wrong to you, and now you want to go, you want to threaten his life because you didn't like what he was saying. That's dumb. That's
Yeah.
dumb. You're not getting the bag that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it's you man, no lies found. That's all I can say on that, man.
It's the struggle,
Like,
man. It's the struggle. But for you, what is the culture for you? What do you consider? What is the definition that you feel is the culture for you?
oh, I love that question. For me, the culture is all right. So I said this on my man Timbuktu's show. So like we in Black History Month, but like I want to say Black our story. And what I mean by that is like history will show you all of the foul shit that didn't happen and what it's turned us into today. So by our story, I mean like moving with intelligence. Like, we all love our hip hop culture. We all know how we as blacks and browns interact with each other and all of that. But the death culture is the part that I don't fuck with. The putting yourself in danger, disrespecting your women, all that bullshit. Like that's not the culture I accept. I come from now, mind you, I was born in '88, so I had to do a lot of going backwards in time and researching and figuring out what real hip hop was. And I feel more related to like the brand Nubians, the Talibs. So that's what I think about when I think culture. I don't think shoot a nigga in the head, push his wig back, beat your baby moms, all that dumb shit. That's not the culture, me. So I want to change that.
So
You
don't get
know.
me wrong, Flash and Dash has always been in hip hop, man. You remember the big ropes from the '80s? These dudes, big,
Yeah.
Big Daddy Kane and LL rocking the fat ropes around their neck. So Flash is and I get that. Like I understand that part of the culture. Everybody want to stand out. Everybody want to show how successful they are. But when it comes to, like you said, the deaf part of hip hop, it makes no sense. Why are you a grown man at 3 o'clock in the morning shooting dice? You know what I mean? Shooting dice
Mm-hmm.
at 3 o'clock in the morning. You are a multi-millionaire. You don't do stuff like that. Period. You don't
Yeah.
hang around that type of stuff because you may be not in that situation where you're going to pull a trigger, but the dude who's losing or another dude that's getting into an argument, he has that street mentality. You may
Mm-hmm.
not have that street mentality, but the next dude will, and he's going to pop
Mm-hmm.
off just to pop off. And people don't
Mm-hmm.
understand that's toxic, man.
Yep.
In the culture, like I said, you use Young Thug for an example. That dude going to jail for a
Oh,
long time.
oh,
He going to jail
oh,
for a long time. And then his
oh.
boy got out early, and we all know why his boy got out early because he lost. You know, you know what I mean?
Gonna.
It's the only reason he got. Look, if anybody says he didn't talk, you lying. He talked. You're not getting out from
Yeah.
a RICO charge. You're not
Nah.
getting banged out for a RICO charge without talking. And this is where I get agitated with a lot of the culture where it says snitching, snitching, snitching. Bro, mobsters were snitching in the 20s. I don't want
Yeah.
to hear this. There's a street code. Street code been done. Listen, 6ix9ine
Ooh.
said it. 6ix9ine said it the best when he said, "Why am I gonna ride for you when you almost tried to kill me, kidnap me, was messing with my baby mother, but I'm supposed to ride with you?" That's not how that worked. Dudes been
Mm.
snitching on other dudes since the beginning. There's no, and here's the crazy part. There's no honor among thieves. People don't understand that. Like people think because you in the street culture, your life, you ain't no snitching. Some dudes will hold it down because that's their. I'm not doing 30 years for you or anybody else. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on, let's be real.
Young Thug, he's staying quiet, which it blows my mind. He's staying quiet. He's gonna do 30 years. He's gonna do 40 years. He's not coming out. No matter what anybody say, he's not coming out of jail.
Yeah.
And his boy
Damn.
Gunna got out. His boy Gunna got out because his boy Gunna did what he did, which is, come on, man, who gonna take that kind of L? Like,
right.
Because they don't want to be labeled as a snitch. 6ix9ine still walking around just fine. After everybody talked all that mess about when he come out, oh, he ain't safe in the streets, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? He's still walking around. He's still traveling. He's still going to different states. He's still doing shows. Ain't nobody trying to take him out yet because these are all, bro, it's paper gangsters, man. These dudes, it kills me, man. These dudes want to rep for what reason? Like, what is they gonna gain you in jail doing 30 years in prison? What kind of rep you gonna gain? You gonna come out, you gonna be an old man. You still gonna be thugging as an old man when you in your 60s? Come on, bro. I think hip hop has poisoned some of the way things should be, man. When hip hop first came out, bro, it was a community, man. It was it was about, bro, if you looked at old videos, if you looked at how they used to do hip hop back in the day, man, it was a big party, man. Everybody went out, everybody was, out in the streets, everybody was battle rapping, but it was not, we weren't talking about blowing people's head off.
Exactly. You had KRS, you're headed for self-destruction, like they was teaching, So I'm not surprised that things have changed in the direction that they have, because I look at it like this, man. Like, all right, let me say this. Like, hip hop is one of these arenas where we feel like, damn, shit it took a turn for the worse. And when I think about that, I can't help but think politically, because when I say that, I'm talking about the place and where we live and how society is set up. And so all of that to say, like, niggas don't want you to thrive. The powers that be don't want you to get smarter. That's counterproductive for control. So it's no surprise that the lyrics are stupefying people. The ignorance gets endorsed. The good messages get buried. Well, of course, because we living in a place where those in power don't want to see us in power.
But do you notice it's like crabs in a barrel? Like hip hop was created, and a lot of people find controversy in this, but there's none. Hip hop was created in New York City by Hispanic and Black people.
Yes, sir.
Black people get so offended when you say that now. They go, "Oh no, it wasn't. It was Black people that." Hispanics and Blacks work together. They work together to create the culture of hip hop. People don't understand that, and I think this is where the problem is with Black and Brown. Sometimes it's like you can't admit that we work together to get something. It's not about taking credit. It's about expanding what we do. It's about unity. And we don't have that unity. It's like crabs in a barrel, bro. If one dude is popular and another dude tries to come up, it's got to turn violent because dude is doing better than you. You're still making your money, but you're not where he at. So what? Like, what's the problem?
People make you think there can only be one.
But that's what I'm saying. And that's where the frustration comes in, where people think they can only be one. It's like Fat Joe and Big Pun. You really haven't heard, honestly, any American Hispanic rappers that have gone mainstream lately. None. I can't name one off the top. I said American rappers from the US. I'm talking about English speaking, because there's plenty of Hispanic rappers that have blown reggaeton and have blown up. But as far as rap, hip hop itself, you don't see any mainstream rappers out there right now. None Hispanic. None. You just don't. You know what I mean? Because for some reason there's a disconnect within the culture. Now, if you want to go to the Spanish side, that's been blown up. You know what I'm saying? Reggaeton, but now you got crossovers with Anuel and what's his name? Super Gremlin, Kodiak Black. So they just did a crossover together. Yeah, they just did a crossover together where he was rapping in Creole and in English, and because it was they're both is it drill, right? They're both drill rappers, aren't they? Isn't
I don't know.
Kodiak Black, isn't he drill?
I'm not hip to them cats.
No?
Nah, what's their names?
You don't know who Kodiak Black is?
Oh, Kodak Black. I don't know.
Kodak Black, yeah.
Okay, wasn't it another name too?
Uh, it was Kodak Black and Well, and what A Well.
And I'm not hip to and well. I heard the Kodak Black.
Yeah, so and Well, he's a drill rapper. He's what Bad Bunny used to be before Bad Bunny went off and started
Oh, okay.
changing how he's doing things. But um, it's like we don't stick together, man. We don't collaborate. Now you have a lot of black artists that are collaborating with a lot of reggaeton artists, and they're doing
Yeah.
crossovers, but it's not mainstream. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? It's not mainstream, and it's just crazy to me, man. The culture's there. It's so rich, man, with what we can create and how creative we are. But instead of putting our stuff together, man, and creating our own thing, it gets taken out. Look at BET, for example. BET was the antithesis of black culture, right?
Yeah.
You had 106 in Park, you had all these, you had the rap battles, you had all these things on there, right? And then what came along and happened? It got brought out. Who brought it out? Who brought the company?
Somebody white.
Somebody white.
Because when I remember years ago, I had a Vibe or a Source magazine, and they showed us the owners. It was Stephen Hill, a black man, and a lady.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Oh,
Not
wow.
anymore. So it's like we tend not to keep things. It's like Jay-Z. Jay-Z just sold his interest in a alcohol drink for like $750 million. Like he got in, got out. It's like we don't keep anything for our own. We don't continue to build. You know what I mean? We just don't, bro. And it's the same thing with hip hop. These dudes are selling their, and it's sad, but it's not sad. Like these dudes are selling their music and their catalogs for like 60 mil, $70 million just for them to be used in commercials. You know, so they can take a song that meant something and turn it into a jingle, which is crazy to me. How do you allow that?
I mean, I'll say this, like when it comes to business, there's a couple different ways you can approach it, but like I do feel like how you feel as far as us retaining ownership, because that's what's going to benefit us. But traditionally in business, it's common practice to build up a business or a catalog and then sell it. So like I guess it's relative to the circumstance. Like if an artist feel like they're at a point where they don't care to benefit no more and they just want a quick payday, shit, sell your catalog. But if you trying to continue generational wealth, you might want to keep it or sell it to start a new business. You know, it's just what's the goal. You know what I mean?
Right. But for me, creating generational wealth would mean you hold on to your catalog and you lease those songs out. So you have a continued revenue stream coming in. Instead of you selling it, like Future sold his catalog for only 60 mil. If he just went in there, he'd lease those songs out to be used in movies, to be used in TV shows, commercials. He'd be creating generational wealth for the rest of his life. He wouldn't have to worry about that. But instead, he sold the entire catalog for 60 mil. Half these dudes are going to be broke within the next 10 years because they can't keep up with the lifestyle. They can't.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And I don't know what other businesses he may have, so I don't know his situation, but I do see your point. Yeah.
But then
it's
when you
all
have
about ownership.
Yeah, it is. But then when you have guys like when you have guys like Rick Ross got people were leaving at his last concert. Like they literally in Houston, it was Houston. They came in, they was walking out. There was a video of it. People were walking out while he was still performing. Like the whole arena started walking.
What, they don't think he hot no more?
Bro, and it's crazy, man. It's if people don't like you and people don't think you hot no more, they're not gonna show up for you, bro. They're just not. People fade away because I don't care how talented you are. When you don't stay in that spotlight in hip hop, people have short-term memories, man. They'll forget about you in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I think the music be coming out a little too fast. You know, I mean, and I really can't say. I mean, it's both sides to that because like it's more creators now, so I guess that's natural. But we don't appreciate it like how we used to. It's a different era. You know, I say, like 2 years, like that was kind of common back in 2095, like a 2-year break. That wasn't so bad. Now, shit, 2 years is forever ago in music.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like people have short-term memories. You have so many artists that come out, but then you have so many that are starting to get hot, and then for some reason they just either they fade or they get killed. You know what I mean? It's like Charleston White. I know you know who Charleston White is, right? Everybody and their mama know who Charleston White is, right? But Charleston White makes people angry. You know why he makes people angry? Because he spits facts and he speaks truth. Like you can't live a certain lifestyle anymore when you and act like you live in when you worth millions of dollars. You can't do it, bro.
Right.
You're contradicting the whole point of you getting out of the struggle. You're not struggling no more. So why are you rapping about struggling when you're not struggling anymore? There's no
It don't
struggle
make
in you.
sense.
I mean, you feel what I'm saying? And they hate the guy, and they keep threatening the guy, but they ain't doing anything to the guy because he's
Yeah.
spitting truth. You can't live a certain lifestyle anymore if you're worth millions of dollars. It don't work that way, man. It
Yeah.
just doesn't.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't, and I think that's the problem. I think we set ourselves back
We
generationally, man.
do.
We
We
go
do.
backwards, but we don't advance, man. We don't.
I
We
know.
kill our own. We kill our own, especially when it comes to ownership of anything, man. When it comes to
Yeah.
ownership, and then here's the thing with music industry. You know this better than I do because you're in it, bro. These labels, I don't care if they're independent. I don't care if they're major. Their entire purpose is to rip off the artist.
Oh
Period.
yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Of course. And you know what? Like even when we talk about these streaming platforms, like that's just another continuation of the rape because like you only get pennies on the dollar for your streams. But then if you go direct to consumer and you say, hey, I got a link, inbox me and then I'll send you the music, you're gonna get all your money, you know. So that puts us right back with the Tech Nines and the Master P's because you know you're gonna get your money. So like it don't make no sense to me to be the creator of something and profit the least, you know.
Right. So that's why a lot of these cats are doing their own deals on Spotify and so they because they
Yeah,
can get a majority more of their money. But why
yeah,
people fall into that trap of signing these contracts is because these companies put them out there. These companies can
yeah,
get them nationwide notoriety. And you know why a lot of these people keep touring? Like Beyonce. Beyonce is going back out on tour. I don't give a
yeah,
hell what anybody says. The only reason Beyonce is going back out on tour because she knows her star is fading, and the only way to get back out there, to get your stuff back out there, is to go out there and go back on tour to people to see your face. Beyonce
yeah.
didn't have to tour again. She didn't have to tour for
Nah.
the rest of her life. That woman's worth what, 400 or 500 million dollars. She don't need to go
Yeah,
back out on tour. There's only two reasons people go back out on tour. One, they going broke and they need the money. Okay. And two, they're trying to stay relevant out here.
relevant.
You understand
Yeah,
where I'm coming from? Like Jay-Z don't care. He ain't got to go back on tour ever. Jay-Z worth a
ever.
Jay-Z worth of over $1 billion. He just sold his stake in the company for $750 million. That's not even including all his other ventures that he has. The guy's worth, he doesn't have to worry about touring. But people that want to stay relevant need to go back out on tour. It's just as
Yeah,
simple as that. And a lot of these artists don't make money from sales from their records. They make all their money from touring.
yeah, yeah. That's where the bag is.
That's where the bag is. It's touring because you got merchandising, you got
Yep.
CDs that you can sell there. You can, and then you can upcharge it. So if your CD is only cost you $10 online, you can upcharge it for like another $5 at the concert, and people are
Yeah,
gonna pay for it.
yeah, yeah.
Especially if you sign off on it. If it's a signed autograph CD, somebody's gonna
Come
buy
on,
it.
come on. Yeah,
You
and
get
that's
what I'm
always
saying?
made more sense. Yeah, because them companies are screwing you, man. They ain't never, you know, they ain't there for us to benefit. They look at the artist like a prostitute, you know, and that shit don't make no type of sense, man. So it's like, you know, go direct to consumer, sell your merch, sell your music. Like I do Bandcamp. Like all my shit is on bandcamp.com, Honasty Blade Music. And shit, I'm selling my shit $10, $15. Sometimes I do a free project and then people could give me a donation. You know what I'm saying? But you right there to the consumer. You ain't got no middleman. You
Right,
know?
but then it makes it hard sometimes because you got people who are buying, like on Spotify, people are buying packs. You know what I mean?
Oh
To
yeah,
get
yeah.
their numbers up. So when I see people that got 3 or 4 million downloads and views and stuff,
Ah,
man, their numbers ain't legit, man.
nah. And that don't help you as an artist. Because look, here go the thing. A lot of established artists will say this. They'll say, if you're gonna go major, make sure that you're successful at least on indie. So, like in other words, you got to know how successful you could become with just your own work before you go to a major and see what kind of boost they can give you. Because, like, how you gonna track your following? Like, if you paying for follows or spins, it's not authentic, so you don't know what your real worth is when you're just you. But if you get a label, of course you're gonna, they're gonna raise your profile through advertisements, promo, and all other kind of luxuries. But that ain't gonna help you cheating the system.
It,
Like how you go?
it's the same thing in podcasting, bro. You would be amazed. Like people use sites to build their numbers in podcasting to build downloads. But what people don't understand, these companies know what real downloads is and they know what the fake downloads are. They know what your numbers are. So this is why a lot of these people, when I see people on IG that's got 15, 20, 100,000 followers, but you're doing a live and you only got 10 people in the live, 15 people in the
Right,
live, them numbers
right,
ain't adding up, dog. They just
right.
not. They really not. Like when you have somebody like Nicki Minaj, when she goes live on IG, you have 10,000, 15,000, 3,000, 5,000 in there. But when you have, I know people that got 20,000, 40,000, 50,000 followers, but you got 8 people in your live when you're doing a live, that's a problem. That
Yeah,
tells me them numbers ain't adding up. There's
right,
the
right.
math ain't mathing. That's not equating to anything, bro. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
So
saying?
that's cheating the system.
It's cheating the system. It's the same thing like SoundCloud. It's like with SoundCloud, same thing with Spotify. These people buy these packs. That's why a lot of people were upset that Beyonce won that Grammy. Because what the hell does she know about EDM music? You get what I'm saying? Like, what does she know about EDM music? Like, people, it's not about, like I said, it's about favoritism, man. And I think we've lost reality, man. What hip hop should be, man. Hip hop's supposed to come from here, bro. It's supposed to
Yeah,
come from the heart. It's supposed to
yeah.
come from your life experiences. But once you don't have those life experiences anymore, you can't keep rapping about it, bro. You have to evolve. You
Ain't
have
that
to
true?
evolve. And then when you have nothing else to rap about and you don't have nothing to evolve, you move on to other ventures. Prime
Right.
example, like 50 Cent, Dr. Dre. You move on,
Yeah,
you create.
yeah.
But for some reason, this culture, yeah, it's so it's toxic, man. Hip hop
It's
culture is
not.
toxic. You got like, you know who Jay Moran is, right? He plays for Memphis, the basketball player.
Yeah.
He think he another thug. You know what I'm saying? Getting
Oh,
himself in
you do.
trouble. Yeah. Oh yeah. He hanging out with dudes threatening players from the Pacers, thinking he's a thug. Bro, you got a $200 million contract. You ain't no thug. Like what this is what I'm saying, but this is what I mean. Like why is it the persona? Why is it that people try to take on these personas that's not valid, bro? You not valid that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it ain't about being tough. First of all, it's about being a human. Then it's about being a man or a woman, and then you got to be a business figure.
And
If
that's the
you are in
problem.
business,
And
you
that's the
know.
problem. I don't think, and this is where I say the culture has let us down in such a way now where you can't even say something about somebody without somebody wanting to pop you or somebody getting offended because you're saying something. Like we can't be critical of each other in a good way without us. First thing we want to do is fight, or I feel
Yeah.
disrespected, so we want to throw hands. Why? Because we
Why?
speaking
Yeah.
facts on you. Like you
Yeah.
not like when people act like they're thugs, they're not thugs, man. They're not. Half these dudes ain't even been to prison, bro. Like they feel like the street cred is what sells albums. It's not, man. These kids out here today, listen, all they want is a good beat.
Yeah.
You can talk gibberish now, and
Yeah.
the song will sell 100 million records
Oh my God.
because of the beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yep.
talking about,
Oh
man.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I be hearing these niggas.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's just gibberish. It's gibberish, man. Like there's
Yeah.
certain guys that I don't understand. Like Tyler the Creator. Look, man, how is he as popular as he is? His music is garbage. I'm sorry, it is garbage. You understand what? How do these dudes? 21 Savage, his music is garbage. Like, how are these dudes as popular as they are? I don't understand it, bro.
I don't understand it. I think a lot of them be chosen. For real talk. I don't think this be all, and I ain't talking about 21, but I think a lot of niggas just be puppets, you
Bro,
know.
speaking of which, you just triggered me right there.
Yeah.
This, whatever her name is, Ice Spice. This look
I've
up
been hearing
Ice,
about her.
man. Look up Ice Spice when you get a chance, bro. When you want to talk about Chosen, let's talk
Yeah.
about Chosen. This chick
Yeah.
ain't nowhere near the persona that she has right now. Bro, she is
Yeah.
an educated woman, bro. She was
Oh.
going to college majoring in something chemistry, biochemistry, or something else. She got brains, bro.
Oh,
Like
okay.
her hair the way it is right now wasn't like that back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
The way she's dressing now wasn't like that back in the day. They're creating a persona for her
see?
because that's not
Yeah.
what she was, bro. She was nowhere near what she's showing. And that's what I think you're correct when you say that they're chosen
Yeah.
because that's ridiculous, bro. Her
Yeah.
music is trash.
Yeah. This shit is about controlling the masses. It stopped being about talent and ethics and all of the values that me and you hold sacred. This shit is about population control. You know, how could it like I ain't got the proof, but I just be believing it. Like niggas like 6ix9ine and certain niggas, I just be feeling like they just put there to keep bullshit going.
Prime example, Blueface. Look at
Yeah.
Blueface. Him and his Sean. Same. Just they're there just to create drama to keep people comfortable. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It just it irks me, bro. Like every time we talk, man, we talk hip hop. This stuff just comes out and it irks my life, bro. Because
I
it's like,
know.
where is the skill level? Where are the things that we should be doing and we're not doing? But anyway,
Yeah.
man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. It's always a good time when we get on and we start
Yeah.
talking and all this stuff starts coming out, man. And if you know me, I'm very level-headed, but I get frustrated when when we talk about this stuff because it seems like
Yeah.
things are just going the opposite way like they should be, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it'll get figured out one way or another, man. But I appreciate you coming
Yeah.
on the show, man. It's always a pleasure, man. We'll get you back on again at some point. Every year we'll get you on. It's you're one of my regular guests, and it's gonna continue to be that way, man.
For sure. Let me tell them where to get this music before we dip.
Yeah, of course.
Everything on the streaming platforms. So your Amazon, your iTunes, Apple Music, all them joints. So go and stream professional use only. Go and stream Son of Mark. It's some hip hop for all of y'all that came up in the time frame that me and him came up in. Y'all gonna appreciate it because I'm bringing that shit back. You got them two projects, and then go to my Bandcamp if you really want to show me some support. Bandcamp.com, Honesty Blade Music. You're gonna get that Yancey. That's a Jay Dilla tribute. All you Dilla heads, y'all gonna love it.
So where can they find
Honesty
you on your
Blade.
socials though?
Honesty Blade Music on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. I got a Twitter, but I don't ever be on that shit. I can't stand TikTok. I just got one because all you motherfuckers be there. So
If somebody wants to reach you because they want to collab with you, where can they reach you at to do that? Is there an email that you
um,
can give them?
yes, sir. Nappy Blade Music. NAPPYBLADE Music at gmail.com. Hit me up if you want to collab. And it gotta make sense.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. I'm gonna leave you with what I leave everybody with. No matter what anybody says, if you found your purpose, live it. All right, everybody, take it easy.
Boom.